Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gold and Silver Club End of Week Commodities Review for the 14th of November 2014, presented by myself, Phil Carr, and Nick Kalsi at the Gold and Silver Club. So today, of course, we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities markets. We'll be looking at the top trades of the week. We'll cover live comment, technical analysis. And of course, we'll be also answering questions you may have too. So before we get started, I'm Phil Carr, professional trader. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialise teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, the agricultural commodities. I've trained thousands of independent traders and successfully managed their own investment portfolio. Also responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders and a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speaking at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kalsi, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. Prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, Nick spent several years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, the mindset and tools that can give any individual in any economy or global business and finance frequently television. So what we'll do now, just have a look at the gold price. We're currently at $1,153 an ounce. Technically, gold is looking very interesting here, so we'll have a look at it shortly. Before we do so, we'll have a look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. Though we've had some really lucrative trading opportunities over the last week. First of all, we've had a lovely swing trade opportunity on corn. The risk on this trade, 90 points, so $900 for each lot traded for a profit of $1,700 hitting a 2-to-1 to enter that last Wednesday, and we came out of that trade just yesterday, which was a lovely swing trade opportunity. Break out this week on for a 330 point into the risk on that trade, $151 for 330 points at $3,300 profit for a 2-to-1, and we've also had a lovely sell short opportunity on natural gas, which broke down in style all the way down to the lower end of the trend channel this week. The risk on the trade, $1,250 for $2,700 profit for a 2-to-1. So there's certainly been some good trade opportunities over the last week. What we'll do now, we'll look into the technicals on commodities and see what we can expect into the Friday open here, the US Open, and also looking ahead into next week as well. So the first market shall start off with here. We'll start off with, in fact, we'll go over the agriculture markets and then we shall move over to the metals. So first of all, I want us to take a look at the corn market. So corn, we are maintaining a very strong trend channel here at the moment on corn. We can see this has been in place since the beginning of October. We've got higher swing lows here, higher swing highs, and we've just been maintaining a very strong channel, which we've had plenty of opportunities to trade within this channel. Not just swing trading, there's been opportunities as well to sell from resistance and to get back in for a buy at the lower end of this channel too. So it's been incredibly profitable market really since the end of October here. Corn loves to follow very strong trend channels, so we've had a lot of opportunities here. Now where we're sitting at the moment, we do have a doji which has formed so far today. You can see the volatility has started to drop down. We would be looking ideally for a spike a little bit higher up to circa the 390 level, and then expect at this level of the channel here and back down to the lower end as we go into next weekend. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that trade opportunity. So one for a bounce off the trend line and then to come back down to the supportive channel and have another buy opportunity. Very similar situation on wheat as well. Wheat has maintained a strong channel since the beginning of October. Both markets very strongly correlated. We had a pullback last week back down to the 510 level. This swing low actually held, and we've had a rally all the way back up to the previous channel here. So you can see where the previous support channel is now providing resistance at the moment for wheat. We're forming a doji so far today. So what we'll be looking at here is to see whether we're going to form an indecision candle and possibly whether we'll get a retracement as we go into next week back down to the 510 zone, or whether we can continue this upward channel and get a breakout above this trend channel above. But we've had some lovely trade opportunities this week just from a break of 517 up to this resistance level. So wheat and corn still looking very good at the moment, and looking for more trade opportunities as we go into next week. Now, as we go over to the precious metals, we'll take a look first of all at the US dollar index. So we have had quite a small breakout actually over today's session so far. You can see a nice pen developing, and we're starting to break. We're essentially just price towards the apex out of that apex just today. Actually, we've had a little break to the upside, which has caused a bit of downside. We've seen gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and copper have a little bit of pressure on them just this morning. Now, we are getting a bit of an inverse hammer forming at the moment on the US dollar. So very curious to see whether the US dollar can break out a resistance here, and whether it can get a break above the 88.30 level. If we do get a break above that level, we do expect more pressure on the metals. If we do break down from this pennant which has been forming, if we start to see a sell-off into next week and come back down to this previous support zone, or in fact previous resistance here as well, which could provide new support, this could help the metals to find support as we go into next week. So still awaiting further price. We'll get a break above 88 and cause more just below this trend line. On that gold market, in fact, we've got a very similar situation here on gold. We've got clear pennant formation which has formed, which we're still just trending, channeling, but between this pennant, the resistance channel and the support channel, you can see this will build up and coil up and go into next week. Now, interesting, we do actually have a week, and also so interested to see break as we go in, or whether we'll actually break through support here at the 11th, which would certainly give us more downside on gold. So those are the key levels I'm looking at as we go into next week, 1180 and also the 1130 zone. But at the moment on the daily, we would be looking for a breakout of this pennant. So we'll be keeping an eye to see whether it will formation, which is currently. Move across to tools. We have actually broken down from a position here on silver earlier on today. So with the breakout on the US dollar index earlier this morning, we've seen pressure also across the silver markets. This consolidation has broken down lower. We've been channeling with a support level at 15.45 all week. We've broken down from that this morning. I would be looking, if we were to get more downside here, initially I'd be looking for a move down to 15.12 and ultimately down to $15 an ounce at the moment, and that would be testing again the 4-year lows here. If we do break $15 an ounce, that will be a psychological support level. There'll be a lot of stop sitting around this zone, and we would expect certainly more downside here. So we're going to be looking out for that. But at the moment, silver looking quite bearish as we are coming towards the weekend here. So definitely this may have more downside as we go into next week, especially if we see strength in the US dollar. Looking at the other metals here, platinum and palladium. Platinum actually looking quite bearish here too. We can see we actually started to break down just yesterday, broken through this support level. And if we can just come down and actually break through the 2014 support zone and get a close below it, which is sitting at the 1183 to 84 level, if we zone, we could set downside for platinum. If you look out to the high, you can see where we will be breaking through a major support zone, and this is really likely to cause more downward side momentum here. Okay, so just coming back to gold quickly, so just a question on gold in terms of the next key levels to look at. Yes, certainly if we were to get a breakdown low, we would also be looking circa around the $1,000.80, circa around 85. $1,085 per ounce is really the next very key level of support that we'll be looking at on the market there. So that's a key level that we'll be looking out for if we start to break down from 11.30. So we'll be looking at that very closely next week. See if we can take out 11.30, next key level 1,085 below. Also, let's have a look at the palladium market. So palladium actually also breaking down. So you're seeing a very similar confluence across all the metals at the moment. All of them suffering a little bit from the strength of the US dollar. We can see here we've got a rejection candle which formed on Wednesday, which is starting to break down slightly, a bit more pressure to the downside today. Ultimately, if we can come down here and weekly lows at 740 test, which will be a breakdown $28 downside here. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. Say at the moment with the current price structure, you've got a better sell opportunity with platinum, with gold and silver. Palladium has been one of the stronger performing metals so far this year. Have pressure to the downside. The other metals break down as well. Certainly, as we come into the US session this afternoon, I would be keeping an eye on the metals and potential opportunities to get in for a sell short and for follow through as we go into next week. We can now look at the energies. If we move over to natural gas, we had an incredible sell-off just yesterday. So we can see this very clear trend channel of this channel last week had an incredible spike here. So we had last week over 500 points in volatility over the whole of London. We've actually started to give back some of those gains. We've come all the way back down, broken through this resistance trend channel and found support exactly at the supportive channel going back to mid-July here. So we can see very clearly where the previous channel is. So we've got this sitting at circa around 3.988, and this is where we are currently finding support on natural gas. So what we're looking at here is either a below this key, so we are looking for this support zone to provide some sort of bounce off this level as we go into next week. If we do get that, we'll be looking for a move back towards the upper end of the trend channel, looking for a move back up to 4.335. Okay, so either way, we are looking for some price action off this key level as we go into next week. So either a breakdown of this level, or we're looking for support and a move back up to the trend channel. Natural gas, I'm really like rate sell short for the next setup. A look here at light sweet crude oil has broken down significantly over the last week. We are fairly overextended now, so we are expecting a little bit of a bounce. You can actually draw a nicer channel on here, and you can see where the market is actually finding some support right at this key support 73.40. So as we go into next week, we may get some upside here on certainly light sweet crude oil. We may see a rotation higher back up to the upper end of the trend channel. So certainly look out for that on light sweet crude oil. We'll be taking note of that as we go into the weekend here. And also having a look, a very similar situation has come back down at the moment. There at the moment, so may well be a bit of a retrace. Predominantly down, we'll just get some of these levels next week, which could provide some good data. So definitely be looking out for that on the energies next week. So there's lots for us to take note of as we go into the US session this afternoon, and particularly I'll be looking at the metals here and seeing if we're going to see more downside with a stronger US dollar. So that's something to look out for. You go into the US session. Okay, so in terms of again, just in terms of the key markets that we'll be keeping an eye on this afternoon, certainly you want to be watching gold, and I'll be looking at the energies as well as we go into the close, because there might be some good retracement opportunities. Okay, so let me just get again. So what you want to keep a lookout on today, a break of this pennant, okay, is really what you want to be having a look at. So we've got a strong consolidation here, and we are looking to see which way gold will break out, whether it will break this support. The support here is sitting at 1146, or whether we'll get a break above this pennant formation and ultimately start to break out from this 1180 zone. So definitely gold will be one to watch this afternoon. Silver is going to be one to watch as well. And the energies, I would look at that for a setup as we go into the earlier part of next week. Okay, good. So I'm just going to quickly double check any more questions for you guys. Okay, perfect. Nicely on to the next section. Actually, if you'd like to actually find out more about the indicators we use at the Gold and Silver Club, the charting that we use, the live trading room that we have, and how to really learn to trade commodities, you can certainly find out more. To request information on the Gold and Silver Club live trading room program or data, how to get access to our charts, the technical indicators. We're looking at raw charts at the moment, but if you'd like to get access to all the indicators we use at the Gold and Silver Club as well, very simply, all you need to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, or you can contact London or Sydney or Johannesburg or the Budapest office. Okay, so I'll leave those numbers on the screen for you very shortly. Also, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, because you will receive free weekly reports on the precious metals, energies, agriculture, as well as live market analysis and prices. So do make sure you take advantage of our newsletter as well. Okay, so I'll leave these details on the screen for you guys, and if you'd like to find out more, do get in touch. Okay, so plenty to look at this afternoon, so good trading, everyone. We'll definitely see you on the next one. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.